With y'all, it's JR Clutch. Man, as y'all see, man, I don't know if y'all, I'm losing weight, man, stressed out, bro. So, like I said, I've been doing a lot of research of what's going on. I'm gonna let y'all know the update of it, man. So, like I said, all my kids was going to school, going to daycare, had all their shots, had a recent physical. All my kids is fine. My child's mother of all my kids had the baby with only THC in her system. They do not report everybody for THC. Lawyers that we talked to, constellations and shit, they said this shouldn't have happened just because of a newborn. So what they did was they kidnapped our first son out of school that was perfectly healthy and fine and not on a court order to hold him kidnapped to bring my other four kids that had nothing to do with the order. You know what I'm saying? So then they took the kids, and then now they trying to make up reasons why, stuff like they're bow-legged. Both of my twins is bow-legged, so they trying to use that as a reason to keep them. Only that. You know what I'm saying? Two of my oldest sons, they say they might have autism. They saying autism is the reason why they want to keep my kids. That's it. Those two. Uh, and then my youngest my twins, my oldest two, and then my daughter, the one that they said had newborn when she had the baby, she had only THC in her system. They not really saying much about her. Like they kind of trying to give her back because she's not acting right either. One of my kids was in the hospital for 3 weeks from foster care because he wasn't eating or talking. They didn't tell us until a weekend. So they say he's discharged, but she's supposed to be seeing him today. I'm trying to update y'all. I'm talking fast so I can get everything in this video because I think my battery going dead. But I'm letting y'all know, CPS, child services, are predators. They are child predators, bro. They are kidnapping kids to give they get a check off these kids. So they took our kids because they get a check off these kids. Then they will make up any type of reason to keep your kids, even if it's not legitimate. They don't even want me to talk in her case because I was saying facts. I was saying stuff that was like, what the fuck? You're not. Where's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that matter? We're all together. If she has family that's worried about these kids, y'all not telling us any legit reasons why y'all took these kids, and the reasons why y'all keeping these kids aren't like, there's no abuse and neglect on the order at all. It's only the positive THC when she's in labor and had a new. That's all it says. And then they saying stuff like, I told y'all. So I'm giving y'all the update. So what's going on is they giving us supervised visits. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So we have a family member. I told you I'm trying to stay out of it because if she lose the kids as a father, I can go in as a father to go get the kids. So that's the reason why we're not really in it together. But I have that's what I gotta do if she somehow lose the custody or whatever with the kids because of this. And then okay, so I'm giving y'all updates of what's going on. So now we have a family member that checked through and my mom checked through. This is the thing here. Now they supposed to be, now this is what they supposed to be doing. Child services. They're supposed to be finding a close relative, a close family member, or a close family or friend that is able to come in and get custody and take care of the kids, right? That's what they're supposed to do. What they're trying to do is keep my kids in the foster care. They're trying to keep them split up into 4 different foster homes when the case don't even make sense for all the kids. And nothing makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just getting y'all updated what's going on. These child services people, they will make up stuff to come get y'all kids. And if y'all have kids in the schools and y'all doing anything, we didn't even do anything. You know what I'm saying? Especially with my older 4 kids. This is about her having a baby with THC only in her system. They don't really report every female for marijuana, bro. They do not. Okay, and they did it for her with her 5 kids, which don't make sense. Then they try to act like they helping the kids. How you helping the kids if you took them out of school and daycare and they're not going to their doctor's appointments, and they're not seeing their parents, and you split them up in 4 foster cares? They saying that's better for these kids. For any kids being split up from their brothers and sisters, come on, did that make sense? Okay, and then, like I'm saying, we have 2 family members that checked out that can take the kids, willing to take the kids in, right? Other than me. They're using every excuse, saying, oh, well, I don't think you could take care of these kids. And one of them have kids. So one of the family, they have kids. But they're grown kids. It's like 2 of them in high school, but they're older than 13, 15 years old, And they trying to tell her that she got a house. So they saying, oh, we don't know if you can take care of the kids, and let's give them more time with the family. No, bitch, what the fuck you talking about? So then they didn't tell us they went over to the family member's house the week before. They told us that they all checked out. They were supposed to give the kids to them if they were approved, right? They fucking both was approved, and they still making excuses to keep our kids. So that's telling you right there that they're not for the kids going to their family members or close friends and family members. They think it's best for them to go to strangers' houses at a foster care and not be able to have no contact with any of the family. They think that's better for these kids. 2-year-old, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and a 6-year-old, and an infant. They all act crazy when they go see her. I'm telling her, I'm making her video every time. Any scratches on them, she's video everything. Okay, my kids are not happy, man. My kids run to her, and they don't want it. In the foster family, you know what they do? They don't even know the girl. They don't know the situation. Okay, they automatically think she's a bad parent. All right. They come in there and snatch the kids from her. Not like snatch them, but like take them without having a conversation. Bitch, you taking somebody's kid away? These people are evil. And if you can't have a kid or something going on, that's your problem. Like right now, Christmas is coming up. We're planning to get all our kids in one of our family members' houses or something for Christmas. They're trying to keep these kids split up in 4 different homes from their brothers and sisters, from their father and everybody in their family, to keep them in these 4 different foster homes. And they can't keep them. You don't have rights to them. It's just they want to, their opinion is matter than what the fuck the facts and proof and everything saying. So now something like every Wednesday, I'm gonna do a video like every Wednesday. I'm not gonna do it every day, but just so I can have content, and so we can have content. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna keep y'all updated. These child services people, they can come to your house, your daycare. They can come to your kid's school, take them out of there, and even you have proof of anything they talking about, they can keep your kids. That's why they telling people don't bring your kids to schools anymore, because child services is trying to take these kids and turn them to transgenders and all this extra shit to keep these kids in adoption agencies so they can get a check off them or do some child trafficking stuff. I'm saying it now because my kids are involved, bro. They literally have nothing to take all my kids away, man. And I'm fighting for them. Well, we fighting for them. I'm here with her because it's in her name. But like I said, if I don't get my kids, I gotta go. So now what we got to do is so now we're pressuring them to push the kids to the family members that's approved. We don't give a fuck about no family foster care. And y'all bitches ain't take care of these kids for 6 years, 3-4 years. Get the fuck. We don't give a fuck about them. And that's what we're telling them. We don't give a fuck about no foster family and kids. We want the kids for Christmas. We want them together under one house. What makes you feel like they're better split up and they've been together all their life? Does this make sense? The mother is making $1,000 every month since January. Till she had the baby, she was getting $1,000 every 2 weeks since January. They try to say she didn't have a job. How you don't check that? How you don't check if the kids had doctor's appointments and physicals before you take them? Now they realizing, and guess what, y'all? The social worker that took my kid out of the school, she dropped out of the case. She dropped out of the case. So now she's trying to put it on to the foster care. No, bitch, you the one that took all the kids, split them up, lied about the shit you thought was going on. She had a rebuttal for all that. Now she want to drop out the case? When we want to talk to a supervisor that you can't take all the kids because the newborn was born with THC in the system, and knowing that other people had marijuana in their system and never got reported? So you want to split a family of 5 up? You know what I'm saying? Now the social worker want to drop out the case, y'all. The supervisor, her supervisor, don't even want to talk to us because nothing makes sense. And they know now that the kids all have physicals. When they come out to foster care and their physicals are different, that's what they're scared of. They thought the girl didn't take them to school, daycare. How you don't know that? And the whole point of this happening is because when they wanted to visit the house. You know, social workers, who wants social workers to come to the house? They wanted to come in the house. So since they didn't come in the house, they took a kid that was going into school every day, had his shots, doctors, going to school every day since the first day of school. And we have attendance. You know what they told her? Oh, that's good. You took the kid because for no reason. So now she's in there watching the kids supervise. We're not signing nothing to DHS. So what has to happen is now that the kids are going to a family member, or they're going to a family member, and then we have to go to the court. The next court, they took our kids. They took took the kids until next year's court date. Then they want us to do all this violent partners. There's no neglect or abuse on any of the kids. There's nothing in the order that says neglect and abuse. Nothing. But they will put you through all these qualifications so you don't get your kids back, or you got to do all this to get your kids back. They trying to follow her without having the kids. I'm talking about as of want to know where she at and the kids there was no problem. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not, and then you know what I'm saying? And we're not signing nothing towards DHS, bro. We're not going to do it because we was told not to do it. Child services want to put you on some restraints until your kids is 18 years old, or they trying to take them and put them in an adoption agency so they can get a check off him. They're not helping these kids. They using excuses. So I said the same thing over and over again. My kids was taken for one reason and one reason only. And even when they took them and try to say my twins is bow-legged, that's the reason why they could keep them. What are you talking about, bitch? No, you're not. No, it's not. It's not happening that way. All right? It's not. So I think the kids are going to our family members that are approved because they went to the house and then didn't even tell her that she can get the kids, even when they told her she was approved. So now they're trying to buy time. The longer you keep your kids in the foster care, it's more reason for them to say, oh, the kids is not loved, they don't have help, and they're not being taken care of. So then they try to keep them in the foster care and act like something wrong with you or something you doing wrong. And they just trying to buy time to keep the kid there and act like it's your problem why they still there. So they don't think it's better to put all the brothers and sisters together in one household where they was fine and happy. They think it's better to split them up into four different foster homes, not see their parents, not see their brothers, and it's just to total strangers, bro. Soon as they took our kids, they put them straight to total strangers, bro. Without letting us know, not letting us interview or see what the fuck going on. Because the newborn was born with THC only in her system, and there was a dispensary right next to the hospital. You feel what I'm saying? Watch your kids, okay? I'm going to tell you my fight. Now I got content. Also, I'm going in the studio Thursday, okay? I'm making songs because I want a voice, okay? I'm making songs because I'm tired. The radio's dying, man. Okay? I don't know if y'all look at my last, I'm just getting back in there. It's called Your Body Talks. It's something for the girls and, for females, a little club thing. It's called Your Body Talks. Y'all go check that out. But Thursday, I'm putting out 3-4 more new songs. Y'all check them out. I got a lot of stuff ahead of me. I got stuff slowing me down, man. Like, I was taking care of my kids every day since they was born. And all of a sudden, people want to come put their opinions and judgments on my family. Like, and then my family was fine. And they look stupid. And they don't have nothing that makes sense where you can keep your kids. Like, like, look it up on the internet. They're kidnapping and child trafficking kids for who knows what. I be damned if my 2-3-year-olds come back unhealthy. Like I said, they all had physicals the same day under the same doctor. I'm taking them back to the same doctor, and they all gonna get physicals the same day coming from foster care. If anything happened to my kids, it's never gonna be over with nobody. Okay? You got to be a sick motherfucker to fuck with 2, 3, 6-year-old kids. Okay? These are not grown kids. These are not 10-year-olds in middle school. These are babies. And these people will take your baby away and use every excuse why you're a bad parent, even if it's not even a good excuse. The worst thing they said is that she had positive THC in her system when she had a baby. My twin boys, both of them are bow-legged. They trying to say bow-legged is a medical problem, but they're both bow-legged, happy, smiling, running around. The 2 oldest kids, nothing wrong with them. All they saying they might not do, might have autism. They saying autism is enough to keep your kids. Autism. And they're not even tested for it. They was healthy, but they have healthy physicals. My daughter, my daughter that we just had, she saw the doctor, completely healthy. No problems with my kids, bro. These people are sick pedophiles. Then also to find out that the social worker that took my kid out of school, they shouldn't have let him to school. They took him out of, she said she took him out of school. Sorry, I just ate. I can't get this shit out right now. She said she took him to different foster care homes before she took him back to the child services facility. You took my kid to different people's houses before you took them back to the facility where you can find them a permanent house? Do that sound right? This is my oldest one. The oldest one they took out of school that had his shots, physicals, school every day. Since the first day of school, going to school every day. No problem eating. I picked them up, dropped them off at school every day. These people will lie in your face. And then when you have all the facts and rebuttals and the proof, they will say, that's good. What do you mean that's good? You just said I didn't have it. You just said I didn't do this. You just said I didn't do that. And then you go and she say everything that she said they didn't have, and then they say that's good. We're still taking the kids. Did that make sense? If the kids was healthy or not in the order, why would you touch the other kids? You should be taking the kid that had started the order, which is the newborn. If anything, it's not like I want that to happen, but you don't take all the kids because the newborn was born with marijuana. That doesn't matter. Marijuana was right, but it's a legal drug. She smoked before she was pregnant or whatever. That's not enough to take somebody's kid away. So now, the social worker wants off the case because nothing is going to follow through. It doesn't make sense. Yes, they all are going to get a physical again. And let all my kids come back unhealthy. All types of hell going to break loose. I'll tell you that now. So keep y'all kids. If y'all can homeschool y'all kids I know it's better for them to be social and in the public and be around kids. It's good. Like, you can still do that. There's other ways to do it. I'm gonna be honest with you. My kids ain't going back to school. They going to be homeschooled, or they're gonna be in a private school where they can't come in and take your kids out of the school, because these people are taking these kids out. And then you know, she went in there. They act like, "Where's my kid? Where's my kid?" You know what they told her? You better leave. I'm going to call the cops. Where's my kid at? Where she went in, I couldn't go in there. Okay, but I mean, I could, but she went in there. Okay, when she went in there, they act like she was. They knew what she was saying. Now you going. Now you go into school saying where my kid is, and they all acting like this is normal. What is that telling y'all? Now, I'm not saying y'all kids will be in the same situation. I hope not. But these schools are access for child services. Now, your kid might not be involved in nothing like this, but all it takes is somebody's opinion, someone's judgment. So, man, I'm going to talk to y'all every time she go in here Wednesday to see these kids, acting like she's a criminal or had anything to do, and I'll let y'all know the updates. But right now, they should be pushing the kids to the family members that were passed, and they should be letting us know when that happened, and they've been trying to prolong it because they trying to keep these kids with the foster cares and these adoption agencies, not because they're safer, was because they get a check, and they try every way to keep kids away from their family. When my kid was in the hospital, they didn't even call us for a week and a half to let us know he was in the hospital, not eating or talking or drinking water. They didn't think, oh yeah, let's call the parents of the kids or the mother of the kid to see why the kid ain't eating or talking. No, they was about to put tubes and x-rays on its head because he wasn't eating or talking. And foster care don't say maybe he wants to be with his twin brother or be with his mother. Child services didn't call her and tell her your kid is in the hospital until a week and a half later. And then they don't even check up on the kid in the hospital. They just tell them, well, they basically just put them in there as a project, and then they didn't even, the foster family that had the other twin didn't even visit him in there. The foster care didn't even visit him in the hospital for a good week or two. We was trying to visit him in the hospital. You can't see your kid if a DHS child services is involved, so they have to be in there when you go see your kid. They not even trying to let us see him because it don't make sense. They supposed to be letting us see our kids as much as we want or on a scheduled basis. And at first, they wasn't doing any of that, bro. They was wondering what was going on. But now one of my kids is biting, Stony. He's biting people. So what is that telling y'all? He don't want to be around y'all. And when they said he's biting people in the court, and they said like that's a problem, no, he's biting. And then they asked her what's going. He don't like y'all. He don't know you. You split him up from the family. You know what they said? They ignored it. They ignored it, bro. They ignore anything that's better for the child. They want to keep these kids, label them as stupid, slow, as an excuse to keep your kids. And say the caseworker jumped out of the case. She's out of the case where she did something, send my kids to different foster care. We can't. I got her shit. I got her name, her card. I got everything for her. But let us find out something happened. It's gonna go legally and illegally. If something happened to my 2-year-olds and my 3-year-old, there's Facebook, Instagram, there's everything to find people. Let any of my kids that was physically healthy come back unhealthy from foster care. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting a studio. Check out my music. I'm gonna start posting my music on the stream and shit. I'm about to get the blue check. I got people waiting for it. I want to make radio consistent bangers, consistent radio hits. Check out SoundCloud, JR Clutch. Look at the last song or two. I'm about to start getting back in my bag. I'm rap like a nigga lost his kids. I know this shit is long, but listen to what I'm saying. I'm a father activist, male activist for men that lost their kid through a baby mama, a court system, child services. I'm sorry, I had a little burp. You know, I'm for the guys that fight for the wannabe fathers and some reason can't. That's sad that these women or child services or the courts can take a man away from his kid. But they'll do it, bro. They'll do it. And then act like you're a victim. And then it happened to me with my first one. Nothing makes sense. But I'm still fighting with that. I talked about that another time. Sorry, long enough. But this one, I'm sick, man. Like, imagine you taking care of kids, all these kids since they were born, and someone just comes and say an opinion and does the illegal way, which is going to go take your kid out of school. That's not illegal. They can do that. But take a kid out of school that had nothing to do with the case or nothing wrong with him at all. They can hold him hold him so you can bring your other kids that even had nothing to do with nothing. And then they take your kids, make up something to keep your kids, and then they hold you to some restraints to see your kid when you didn't do anything to any of these kids. But I'm gonna probably do another video in a couple of days, but I'm letting y'all know, man. Keep y'all kids close to you. Alright? Like, why ain't we getting calls from that daycare about my kids now? You know what I'm saying? It's weird. They can go in that daycare, they can go in schools and take your kids. They can do that. They just need to come in there with an ID from child services, ask for the kid, have an order. But my kid didn't even have an order. The one that got took, he didn't even have an order. He didn't even have his name on the order. His name wasn't even in the child services order, and they took him. And then said, we're holding him so you can bring your other kids, like they were unhealthy and something was wrong. So we bring all the kids thinking nothing's going to happen, and they straight take your kids in court before you have court. Or they'll bring a cop to you and say we need to take the kids for so and so, and you'll get them later and you don't get them back. That's what happened. I wasn't there because, like I said, I gotta fight. The father can get the kids. Like, nothing they got against me. They don't have nothing against me. But if I jump in it, they're gonna tie me into her case, and they're gonna try to put me in some sanctions and shit like that. So it's best to just let her go through what she gotta go through, try to get it, be on her side, see what's going on, everything like I'm doing. And if she somehow can't get the kids, then I can go in there, clean slate, father, and do it. But until then, I'm going to fight for the father's rights. I'm a father activist. I'm for all men being fathers. It's the best thing in the world, man. I don't regret having my kids. I love my kids, man. I know they miss us. They don't know what's going on. They're 2, 3, and 6 years old. And a newborn. Like, how you take somebody's newborn? How you take people? They took our kids on before Thanksgiving. Now we're trying to have them for Christmas after they supposed to give them back and they're all qualified, and now they're not even trying to give them back for Christmas. That's showing you they're not for your family, not for my family. They're for splitting people's families up. And they are asking about me in this case, and she's not saying he's around, because what they trying to do is tie me into the case. All the judge got to say is Warren Felton and whatchamacallit is not going to see their kids because they just have to put that in a court order. And then I am, fucked up. But You might have to do some of the stuff in the that they tell you to do to get your kids back. That's what I'm learning, that people do have to do some of the stuff, but you have to do everything. So that's what she might do to get the kids. But um, yeah, man, another 30-minute video. Um, I'm gonna do a video at least once a week. Um, I might start posting my music in between the videos. The music is the reason why I want to do music, because it's something I love to do. And when I go through shit, I make really good music, bro. If you go check out my music on my SoundCloud, I'm about to start the streaming. I got a marketing agencies ready to go. They waiting for the new music. So while in process of fighting for my kids, I'm gonna make music. I'm gonna keep getting money, and we're gonna keep fighting. Um, the men that are, yeah, I'm for the females that are parents too. If you lost your kids from court or to the other parent, because I feel like every parent, unless you beating or hurting the kids, you don't deserve to see the kids. But if you didn't do anything, I'm for those parents that want to be parents and going to work every day and sending their kid money and paying child support and still not seeing a kid. Those are the guys I'm speaking up for, talking for. Those are the guys I'm making music for, because I want guys to show whatever you love to do. Mine is music. Whatever you love to do, be the best at it, because that could be your voice to get your kids back. If it's basketball, you in overseas, I have friends that played overseas, that played in the league, D1. Got other, if you rap, fuck it. Just be positive where you're going to always keep your kids, get your kids, or be in your kids' life. If you're a rapper, if you're a singer, I'm for the parents of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to fight for the guys that are trying to be in their kids' life, and the courts or the baby mom or the baby dad keep you from your kids. I think everybody should be seeing their kids. Female, male, it just mainly happens to males. And that's what I'm fighting for. Okay? And then for all the people that be like, you just bash women and you, no, I don't bash. I bash women that bash men. I love women. I don't talk about all women. I'm not for men beating women. I'm not for men bashing women. I'm for men. I'm for the men that got bashed by women, and they're trying to do everything right as a father, as a man. They staying out of trouble. They're going to work. They taking care of their family. They're not thinking about what no broad think or say. Stop listening to these ran through broads that can't keep a man, that got 20 different dicks in their mouth, and they trying to tell you how to be a man or how to keep someone. They can't keep a man themselves. It don't matter how bad you are, bitch. Every man had a bad bitch. If he didn't get you, he probably would have ran through you anyway. But like I tell y'all, I got a girl that loves me. I make her laugh every day. She says I'm interesting. She's attracted to me. We got 5 kids. She was a housewife for many years, and now she wanted to step up and take care of her family. And it's sad that all this extra child services shit happened. But we was fine. I was happy with her, bro. And find you a girl that will follow your agenda as a man, that won't take you away from your kids, that even girls that find you a girl. If you find for your kid and a girl knows you find for your kid and she stays by you, that's type of girl that you want to have. You want a girl that's going to follow your plan. Like I said, I got a girl that look at me like I'm LeBron.